Hello and welcome to another episode of the ReUp. My name is Jason Delgado. It's been quite a week, lots to talk about, a little bit of a disappointment and a little bit of an odd revelation. Anyway, welcome. This is the ReUp. Every week I kind of get on here, ramble about a couple things, talk about a couple things, and see where it all lands. See if we can't find some perspective, some positive motivation to keep us going through these difficult, somewhat uncertain times. If you know me, excellent. If you don't, follow me, like and subscribe. It'll be somewhere on this screen, and it will tell you my info. Great Instagram stuff, good stories, good funny posts. Always a good time. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, all those things. Let's connect. We need a more connected world, despite everything. But welcome. Anyway, enough with the rambling. What happened this week? Lots of fun stuff to talk about. A couple big disappointments in that my team, the Buffalo Bills, the destined, once seemed great Buffalo Bills, did lose to the reigning champion Kansas City Chiefs this weekend. Good game. I mean, what are you going to do? We tried our best. Kind of felt like we weren't even going to do that good, so it was nice that we kind of did at least that good. It was a tight game, but we lost. What are you going to do? It was a bit of a disappointment. But one of the great things about this weekend, despite my friend's team, the Packers, also losing, was to receive a little bit of inspiration from the football world. And that inspiration came by the name of Tom Brady. Now, if you haven't heard of Tom Brady, you're on the moon. They probably heard of Tom Brady on the moon, too. The guy is just, he's an athlete's athlete. He's been to the Super Bowl 10 times now. He's 43 years old, playing quarterback at an elite level. And it's just an inspiration to see somebody in their 40s still kind of kicking it, doing the good thing, doing the young man's game in the young man's way with the young man's vigor. It's exciting to see. And so it was a real inspiration to me because here's this guy on the, those who don't know, a little bit of NFL history banana. Tom Brady was on the Patriots, drafted pretty much out of college, going to be the Patriots, quarterback guy. And he's crushing it, man. He's winning all these titles. I think he's got 5 or 6 rings already. And then all of a sudden, as these, later years start coming on, year 40, year 41, he starts to get into a little bit of a beef or an argument as such with his head coach, Bill Belichick. Now, Bill Belichick, for those who don't know, is known as the greatest coach of all time ever, you guys. And so anybody who sort of disagrees with his system or his way of doing things is sort of deemed as like wrong, ostensibly. And he's got a lot of championships with a lot of teams, so, the guy clearly knows something about what he's doing. But I guess Tom Brady wanted to get one of his sort of personal trainer guys into the locker room to train him personally outside of the normal Patriots regime. And Belichick was like, no, deal with our staff, deal with our trainers, no specialness. And Brady was like, but I'm specialness. And so anyway, beef ensued, and eventually Tom Brady has to be traded. And he was, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, if you don't know who the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are, you're not alone. They're just kind of a nobody franchise, to be honest with you, that nobody really ever paid attention to. I mean, I don't really follow football that strict, but I followed enough to know that nobody knows the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or kind of perceive them to have any sort of real shot at anything. But then here comes Tom Brady. 43-year-old Tom Brady strutting along. And brings him to a championship. First championship in 55 years. I mean, let's go. Tampa Bay. It's one of these teams that I guess had a good roster and doing a little bit of research. I guess they had a couple people on there that were good wide receivers and they had a good defense and they just needed certain pieces together. But I don't know, man. I feel like it's a lot of Tom Brady. There's a lot of one man coming in with the vigor, the energy, the experience, the words of inspiration. And yeah, he got his people to a Super Bowl, man. Got his people to a Super Bowl in the first year of his play on that team. Something that everybody said was attributed to Bill Belichick. Oh, no, Tom Brady's not the guy. It's just he has great coaches and great people around him, and it's these other people. Isn't that the 43-year-old quarterback playing at an elite level at this age? But it is. It's a man using his will, his energy, his experience to push younger players, less experienced players into an elite level. It's inspiring because I'm 40 and I want it. I don't want a Super Bowl ring, but I do like the idea of, playing a young man's game, even though, you're a little bit older, a little bit more weathered. I would say more experienced. And it's nice to see that, we live in a world now where you take care of yourself, take care of your mind, take care of your body, do the right thing. And, you could win a Super Bowl 43. Who knows? So it's exciting to see. It was a big inspiration for me as somebody who's a bit late in the game as far as, trying to get things going, not when I'm 25, but more when I'm... And so, and to see Brady doing it, it's inspiration, something to see and something to look forward to as far as, something that I could say, hey, if he did it, I could do it. If he could win a Super Bowl, I can get up at 6 and go for a run. And so, thank you to Tom Brady. Good inspiration, fun inspiration. Great stuff. One of the things that we discussed in an odd sort of change of pace during the game, excellent fun experience, by the way. I had a friend who bought a smoker, and we were smoking a delicious brisket banana. He went and bought the brisket at a butcher. And it was, one of these fancy ones, and then he put the meat, the boo on it, and the smoke ba-ba-dum. He had these little wood chips that were like special wood chips, and he had this great like digital readout where it's like he put one end of the readout on the smoker, and the other end of the readout he can keep in the living rooms, and it kind of just feeds the signal so he knows how hot the meat is, how hot the inside of the thing is, how hot the outside of the actual smoker is. I mean, it was really, really cool. Very high-tech, very fun. Felt like I was at a BBQ house. And so in the midst of all this kind of waiting around for the meat to smoke properly, and it did at some point eventually, a topic came up that was very, very odd. And something that I didn't know about, and I thought I'd kind of discuss it with people here in case you didn't know about it, because I found it very funny and something that I kind of dug too deep into, admittedly. So apparently there is a rumor, or there is a sort of a known quotient in the world that actor Liam Neeson urinates his pants regularly. Now, I didn't know that this was a thing. Excuse me, Mike. I had heard from people in the world that Liam Neeson was the greatest actor of all time, and you should never take his daughter or his wife, or he will come and find you. That's all I know about Liam Neeson. I did not know that Liam Neeson was known to kind of walk around with urine in his pants. Now, here's kind of how it goes. I am outside with my friends talking, smoking meat. Liam Neeson's pee came up. I start to do an internet deep dive, and there it is, all over the place. Him with fans, him with women, him with men, him at premieres, just with a little urine in his pants. And I mean, hey, pee your pants, live your life. You're a millionaire. I mean, do whatever you want. But as I'm looking through these pictures, I'm like, really? He just pees his pants and just walks around like there's no sort of put a coat? I mean, are you really that sort of brash? I don't know. And it just seems a bit much for that. But you never know. Could be brash with your urine. But I also, in my deep dive, discovered a couple of other things about Liam Neeson. One of the things was that apparently, supposedly, baboobity, Liam Neeson has a very large penis. Like abnormally large. One sort of former video vixen, or whatever you want to call them, mentioned how it was like an Avion bottle. And I thought that was amazing. But also, I kind of found it like, if somebody at that sort of level, who's had that sort of experience, the breadth of experience in that regard, points to somebody like Liam Neeson and goes, no, that's the guy, there's a good chance that rumor has merit. Usually people aren't passing out sort of praise in such a way unless there is merit attached to it. And in this case, I kind of did the deep dive and I found out that's a thing. I guess Liam Neeson is known for this sort of, blessing. And so I started to kind of put the two and two together. And I realized that there's a good chance that this is not urine. There's a good chance that this is just, you know how like when you have like your underarm pits, like pit sweat? It could be just like, it could just be like the weight of his, and then that in combination with kind of how it sits. And, this could just be sweat is what I'm saying. Look at the pictures. I mean, there's just not enough. I mean, it could just be like a small, like a slip out of piss. Maybe it comes out and you kind of walk around with it and you're cool. But the photos don't suggest that. Like, I feel like if you're going to Like, if you pee your pants, there's not sort of a control at that point. Like, you're just pretty much, I mean, hey, we went for it, it's out. Like, a little pee your pants, and then you just walk around? I mean, I guess, but I would think that there would be, at that point, you'd be like, oh, no, I peed my pants, I gotta cover it up. Or, meh. But I'm thinking this might just be the weight of the man, you know? Like, the weight and sort of just the amount and kind of, maybe he doesn't wear underwear, and I think we're just getting sweat. I think we're just getting a sweat stain associated with a large man's package. I really think we're dealing with something more like that, and I'm glad that everyone's sticking around through this because you really shouldn't. But I just had to bring it up just because it was something that was so amazing to me, and then something that was so funny that seems like it would have been sort of more public knowledge in that sense, and how like it was so shocking and amazing. I was like, I need to do a deep dive research. And so I do not think Liam Neeson is peeing his pants. I think he just has a giant penis. That penis sweats, and we're getting a sweat stain near his crotch. Should anyone care to know? But it was fascinating. I thought that's just out there in the world, and yeah, the internet knows, man. You cannot hide from the internet. One of the other things that happened today, on a topic of big packages, nothing, was LA's opening again. I guess Governor Gavin Newsom of Newsom and Newsom went and announced that he's like, hey, 180, we're going to open again. Everything is open. Go ahead, have a restaurant meal. Go get a nail salon appointment. Play in a card parlor. And it was nice to see, you know. It's like it's one of those things, we've been locked down to December. You couldn't even have people over for, like, legally, you couldn't have people over to your home. And now, you know, we're back. We're kind of getting back into the groove of things, and it's kind of nice to see. These open mics are opening up again. You know, I'm seeing that places are starting to kind of get comedy back. You know, I'm starting to feel like it might just happen. We might just be on that road to recovery. The vaccines are getting, you know, real distributed. There's super sites up, websites up that you could schedule. I mean, LA is really pushing it. They're really pushing to get that reopen, and I think it's a, you know, I see a lot of pushback just because they're like, you know, hospitals, ICUs at zero capacity. And I don't understand how a lot of that works, so I can't really speak politically on it. But I can say this, it's like, you know, capacity is based on how much you have. So if you have more doctors, more nurses, more space, capacity grows. And so I'm hoping that that's the situation where they expanded certain, facets of the hospital or certain facets of medical centers where they can host more people, vaccinate more people, get more people treated. And that was the reason for opening this. Because everywhere it's like, you're killing everyone. And I'm just like, it's tough because I don't want people to die. I know how serious this thing is, but at the same time, there's got to be a point where we reopen. There's got to be a point where we start to kind of get ourselves into a position of seeing if it's possible. And now with vaccines getting out there and things expanding and new regimes in place, I really do think, we're starting to get to that point where we're opening up now, or testing the opening up now isn't the worst idea. So I was very, very happy about that. It was good to see. It was good to hear. I'm very much looking forward to having a margarita at El Compadre. Yeah, man, just kind of getting out and enjoying some drinks and, some food outside of the house in a seat that's not in a park. I think it's going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to that. And so it was nice to see LA opening again. And inspiring because, with that opening, major city like this, if it works here, it could work other places. And then, bada boom, bada bing, we're back in the game. So I'm hoping that is the case. It's exciting to see. And especially for mics, to have some open mics, comedy mics, where I can start to get the chops rolling again. I'm really looking forward to that. That should be very, very exciting. Shows coming back, very exciting. So yeah, that was pretty much the week. It was just Bills lost, Tom Brady's inspiration, Liam Neeson's sweaty crotch, and the reopening of LA. Not bad. We're getting there. Little by little, things are getting better. I hope they continue. This was a fun ramble. I had a good time doing it. I hope you had fun watching it and you did make it this far. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow, like, subscribe, bananas, graphics. We'll be having fun content. Hopefully some fun new shows coming out soon. And some more long rambles. Hopefully more funny, less crotch, and more inspiration next time. But hey, every day's a winding road. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jason Delgado. This has been the ReUp, and we'll see you on the next one.